Today I got a story time for you guys, so yeah, sit back, relax, grab something to drink, grab something to eat, maybe some popcorn, I don't know man, it's up to you, and let's jump right into it. So the subscriber who sent in today's video, we're gonna call him Jackson. By the way, if you want to send in a story, send it to my Instagram, it can be featured on the channel. My Instagram's in the description. Anyways, right, Jackson. By the way, I got all the names for today's story from the comments you guys left, so suggest a name if you'd like. Anyways, right, okay, focus. Jackson, right, so this guy. Jackson, he goes to class, and, obviously, as you can see in the title, the story takes place mostly in Jackson's English class. And, Jackson's a pretty good kid, like, he knows what he's doing. It's not like the top student in the class, but, he's spitting some bars, right? He knows what a noun is. He's killing it, dude. Like, he knows his ABCs. He's killing, I don't know, maybe. But anyways, pretty middle of the line, he's doing well. And there's some other kids in his class that are a little bit more sketch, like just a little bit more sketch. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. Anyways, right, so these sketchy kids, it was one guy, one girl, right? We're gonna call the guy Tom. We're gonna call the guy the girl. I can't, dude. I'm sorry. I literally just woke up like 5 minutes ago. My mouth is like I'm stuttering all over the place. I'm sorry. Just you're gonna have to get over it. Anyways, right, Tom and Lauren. Those are the names we're choosing for the two kids that are a little bit interesting, and they're gonna be pretty integral in the story. Anyways, right, so one day, Jackson's just sitting in English class, and he's like kind of paying attention, kind of not paying attention, but it's English class. Look, you can either have a really engaging teacher or a very, very boring, like, here's all the, obscure rules of grammar type teacher. However, do listen to that teacher because my grammar is pretty bad. Like, I don't know the words for all the different stuff, and it's kind of bit me in the butt, like, later on, so pay attention. Just pay attention in school, guys. This is general, just a little word of advice. Anyways, right, so Jackson, he's kind of just chilling. I don't know if he's paying, like, that close of attention because he does notice something, which I'm about to tell you, and it's pretty integral to the story. Anyways, right, so Jackson is sitting, back in the middle row. There isn't, like, a ton of rows, right? This class, like, a couple stories ago, I think I told you about, like, or maybe it's yesterday's story, I told you about, like, a class and how it went really far back, and kids were able to get away with a lot. This class was not the same deal. Like, this class was kind of small in a sense. It wasn't necessarily like a round table or anything. It was not a round table at all, but it was a much smaller class. Kids definitely would not be able to get away with as much as, they were in the last story time. But in this one, like, the class was kind of shallow compared to that one, and, Tom and Lauren, the two kind of sketchy kids, they were sitting the thing and write it down and get evidence that I can submit a real file and really get a mark in this kid's record and maybe stop him for good if he wants a future. And John's like, oh my God. And Ben turns to him and says, like, dude, we need proof that this kid's gonna try and beat you up. And John's like, I don't know how we're gonna do it. He always words it weirdly. And John's like, well, maybe I should go meet him. And the substitute teacher's like, I don't think that's necessary, right? Like, I don't want, like, to put him in danger. And John's like, no, but I need to get this kid gone. And the substitute teacher's like, well, I don't know how much the administration would like this, but I can stand guard, and right before anything happens, I can come and break it up. And John and Ben kind of look at each other like, okay, this is like some scrawny random substitute teacher. What if, like, he really holds no authority? And John's like, well, I mean, I gotta stop this kid somehow. So sure enough, right, John turns to Ben and says, Ben, you need to record everything. So Ben has his phone out, and he starts recording, right, and they walk down the halls. And Ben's trying to be, like, it's not super obvious with his recording, so he kind of, like, pretends like he's just on his phone, the flash is off. He's able to record it pretty well without it being super obvious. And eventually, so they're walking down the hall, and the bully's like, well, boys, I wasn't sure if I was going to see you today. It's great that you're here. And he's like, Ben, I don't really have any issues with you. You can keep going. Ben's like, well, I'm just going to wait for John. We'll ride the bus tomorrow. The bully's like, I don't think that John will be riding the bus today. And Ben's like, well, then I won't be riding the bus today either. The bully's like, fine, well, then stand over there unless you want to become collateral damage. And so Ben does step away, and, the bully starts coming up to John. And John's like, what are you going to do to me? And the bully's like, we're just going to have a little time. And then the bully, like, kind of comes up to him menacingly. And he's like, why did you disrespect me in class 2 days ago? And John's like, you spat a spitball at me. I just threw it back to you. That sounds fair. The bully's like, there is a rule of law here.
there's a hierarchy here. Some of us are above others in school, and I'm just here to enforce it. And John's like, how are you going to enforce it? And the bully lifts up his fist and says, this fist will make contact with your face. That is the rule of law at this school. And as soon as that happens, the substitute teacher sprints out of there and is like, hey, break it up, boys, break it up. And the bully comes around and says, oh, Mr. Davenport, like nothing's going on here. I'm just having a talk with my friend. Mr. Davenport's like, well, it doesn't look like that to me. John, I'm going to need you to come with me. The bully's like, no, John's staying with us. Mr. Davenport's like, I can get the principal over here. And the bully's like, fine, you know what, John?